We're going to make a frittata. It's traditionally a dish made in the oven out of eggs and vegetables, seasonings, herbs. We're going to do it strictly in the microwave and still get a delicious finished result. And it's almost like a quiche, but without the crust.
Today I have a fabulous frittata recipe for you. Let me show you how. First, obviously, we have to dice our vegetables. About a half a cup of our vegetables, cut the same size, okay? It is important for the cuts to be uniformed, for the vegetables to cook the same way, be done at the same time. We're going to take our white onions, red bell peppers seeded, our 2 squashes, diced tomatoes that have been peeled, quartered, seeded, and diced, our olive oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Give it a quick toss.
The vegetables will be coated with oil. That allows them to get to a higher temperature and get more of a sautéed effect. If you didn't, they'd get to about 212, which gives you a nice steamed vegetable effect, but we're looking for that bigger flavor you get from sautéing.
Make sure the vegetables are fully coated with the oil. And what we're going to do next is place our vegetables in the microwave, power 10 for 2.5 minutes. Nicely sealed, tight seal. Just make sure you poke a few holes in order to let the steam out. This is actually a really easy microwave to use. Level 10, set the time, 2.5 minutes, and off we go. Now that the vegetables are cooking, we're going to coat our pan with the vegetable spray. Just make sure you coat it evenly. This will certainly prevent your frittata to stick and at one point not being able to remove it from the dish. So our frittata, we are going to use a little bit of a fresh basil that is, that has been previously cleaned. Make sure that the stems are removed. And using the largest leaf, we're going to layer them and cut them into thin strips. You've all seen how a cigar is rolled. This is exactly the same way. Thin strips, even strips. You don't have to go fast. The importance is to have everything cut the same way. We want to fluff it up to obtain about a cup or so. Our vegetables are still cooking, about 30 seconds or so. We have our pasta that was previously cooked, dusted with a little bit of olive oil as well. Now the pasta in the frittata itself is going to replace the potato. As you know, a frittata always has some type of potato or starch, and I think this is a perfect alternative using a pasta. Any type of pasta will do, although we would suggest a penne or rigatoni. Elbow macaroni could be available. Now, there goes our vegetables. Let's continue. Now this is hot though, don't be fooled, you can see. We're going to add our basil. Toss thoroughly. It smells excellent. Let's transfer to our cooking bowl. Now remember, I did season the vegetables slightly earlier. And the reason being, obviously I wanted to make sure that those vegetables would absorb part of the seasoning. Our pasta will be layered just roughly in our bowl. Just like so. We're going to bring our eggs. Use 2 forks if you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable with a whisk, either or. As long as your eggs are thoroughly mixed. Remember, we still need a little bit of seasoning. A little salt and a bit of black pepper. These 2 items are to taste, obviously. If you like your frittata to be quite spicy, red pepper flakes will do. A little cayenne will do. You could add oregano, you could add a little parsley. There we go. And we are nevertheless going to make sure that all the ingredients are tossed and mixed thoroughly. This looks delicious, I think. It's going to be a great frittata that we are going to enjoy in a little bit. At this point in time, we are going to go back to the microwave. And using the same process, we are topping with plastic wrap. a few holes like we did previously, just to make sure that the steam is allowed to escape. We're going to the microwave again. Level 4, 18 minutes.
We'll set the power level at 4. That means you'll get 40% of the power continuously. Traditional or other microwaves, if you set the power level at 4, you get 100% of the power 40% of the time. What happens in that case is you start to get the eggs overheating and they start to souffle. Once they do that, they start to get air pockets and start to be a little bit more rubbery and tougher. By having 40% power all the time, you get a nice creamy finished product that everybody associates with a frittata.
What do I love this microwave? Fabulous. Please be careful while taking the dish out of the microwave. Use a towel, your mittens. It is going to be hot. I can smell the basil, I can smell the vegetables. Let it rest for a moment. It'll be easier for you to cut. And I can tell by the way it handles that this is going to be a fabulous product. If you look at this frittata, nothing is dried out. It's actually quite moist, very, very fluffy, not dehydrated, not browned, just cooked perfectly. A great way to serve this frittata would be accompanied by a few tossed greens, perhaps arugula, a little frisee, maybe red oak lettuce. Crispiness, softness of your frittata, excellent. An alternative would be, should the frittata be cooled or chilled, to slice it thin, put it on a cracker, and have a small appetizer or hors d'oeuvre while your guests are enjoying your favorite cocktail. Bon appetit.
Well, there you have it. For these and many more recipes, come visit me at the virtual test kitchen at panasonic.com/inverter.